What up though, Jamba, and hello, this is Fire back with part 2 of my world build. As you can see, I'm in the garden. This garden I built from my wife. This is the royal garden. I have a lot of fruit trees around, pathways, and then I put the fountain in the middle. Just a little place for my wife to just kind of chill and relax. In the story, this will be the princess's garden, and she does her thing. This is kind of like just a random house where I store some things in. I have some boxes, and for the garden, you need a lot of different stuff, so I just made a little storage room kind of thing. I have a little add-on that allows me to organize my storage really well, so I'll put it all in there. As you can see, this little pathway, and then I have my gardens. I showed you one of these before in other villages, but these are the ones that are filled with the vegetables. As you can see, I have some onions and some turnips and some yams and some other stuff just growing all through it. I like this system. I built this system with sprinkler systems just so I won't really have to worry about too much when I'm doing my thing. I have this little house right here that would serve as like a little house for the farm hands that just stay around. Then I have my barn going on. I gotta finish my barn. I might put a couple of animals in it, I'm not sure. Going over here, we're getting into the other side where I have a couple of different houses. I'm probably gonna put some more stuff over here, but now we're getting into the farmlands. Now, this is where most of the food, a lot of the food comes from in my kingdom. Yeah, I know what you're gonna say. There's no tractors in medieval Africa. But if you're a Minecrafter and you grew up kind of crafting stuff, you just have to craft some of this stuff. You just have to know. I get a pack and I see a recipe for the craft. I just had to do it. I just need to know, how it worked. So anyway, this is my barn. That was my other farmhouse over there. My barn is over here, kind of the same as the other barn. Gonna finish it, maybe put a couple of animals in here. Now over here we got Blue. You're my boy, Blue. He does most of the work. Yeah, when I plow and do the garden, I usually use him. I don't use the tractor, I promise. Yeah, right. See, what you gotta understand is, when you're world building, and you're a Minecrafter, there's a whole lot of things. Like sometimes I might stay in some of these houses and do some survival and things like that, just for nostalgia's sake. I played Minecraft when it first came out, and I did the survivor thing and everything. So sometimes old habits are hard to break or whatever. But I try to dedicate this world to mainly just building stuff. So just trying to keep it in one perspective. But I'm gonna go back over here to kind of show you the path going back to the palace so we can get over there. Down here I have my smith house. Okay, this is the forge where the smith would make all of the little toys and tools and weapons that we have in the kingdom. It's one of many smith houses that are going to be in the kingdom, but that's one of the main ones in the royal area. So now we're going to travel to the barracks. These are my new barracks that I talked about before. They are going to be the main military barracks. As I said, there are going to be 4 different groups in here. You have the green guard, you have the red guard, and you have the blue guard that is on the top. So basically you start off as the green guard, you move up to the red guard, and then you get to the blue guard. I'm not going to take you all the way through all of these because I will do a separate tour of this facility in itself. Over here, you can't see it right now, but that's going to be kind of like a mess hall and everything. And then up here on the roof, I have, you guessed it, another garden. I figured the troops need food to feed themselves, and it doesn't need to take away from the supplies of the whole kingdom. So, I figure, hey, why not put their food on top? And they probably have a little livestock too. So that is my barracks. Just a little quick little thing. Like I said again, I'm going to do a full tour of this because it took me so long to build and it gave me so much frustration. So I got to show you a little bit of something. So I'll show you the tower rooms and some of the officer rooms. The big time officers are gonna probably live up here. Yeah, just as like a little reward for doing your thing, all of those years. Some of my top generals and things. And then there's going to be like a training yard over there, and maybe some horse stables over there. All right, so now I'm getting into the jungle area over here, which is the jungle tree houses. I have another project going on with these jungle tree houses that I'll be showing you as a little later too. But as you can see, I just kind of blended it into the scenery. I have one type of tree house, and then I have another type of tree house that has some units on the ground as well. So yeah, I'll do a tour of that too separately. Yeah, just looking back at this barrack build, so frustrating. My system crashed several times building that thing, but I got it done, so can't complain. All right, now we're going into the Royal Palace. I've showed this before, but I haven't showed you with the whole details like this. This first room is kind of like a greeting room where you just wash your hands and get some food and chill out. It's just like a great hall that people would just come and just be chilling. These areas are for people that are going to the royal court. And then we go upstairs to the throne room, the Piece de la Resistance. So this throne room, I put a lot of thought in it. You can peep the color scheme. Had to do it for the Pan-African, people. So, yeah, this is my throne room. It's got jade, it's got all kind of red, it's got black, it's got everything. So this is where the king would hold court, basically. So it's kind of set up like a courtroom, but back in the day, they were kind of set up like courtrooms because that's where the concept came from. So the king would sit and just kind of, all the problems of the realm, anything, injustices and stuff like that, he would be judge and jury, So this is where he would sit on the throne. So on the side of me would sit the hand of the king, the master of coin, other people that are essential. Can you tell I watch a lot of Game of Thrones? Yeah, well, I do. So this would be the royal quarters. A lot of the bedrooms and stuff like that will be around here. But before I show you that, let me go down and show you. This would be the ballroom. Now, in my research of medieval Africa, I found that one of the things that we covered in most was knowledge. And through knowledge, we did that through manuscripts and reading. So this is the Palace Grand Library. I really like this place. It's one of my favorite places because I built these shelves out of bone block, and I didn't even know you could do that, but it was just so sweet when I discovered you could. So, those type of things just kind of make a crafter happy. And me telling the story of ancient Africa, nobody would even think about libraries, but we had libraries like Timbuktu and the Great Library of Alexandria and several other libraries that we haven't even given names to yet. So this is a place where you can come and get some food, for the students of the Citadel and everybody else that wants to come for long travels and study in this library. They can get some food and some refreshment. These are the special stacks up here. This is where the most precious manuscripts would be. If you've ever been in the library, you could see that the top floor is basically where all the special stacks are. Now I'm going to go back down, and you can go through this door and leads you to the battlements. As you can see, you have your crenellations and all of that. And now we're going to go into the royal apartments, and this is where people would stay if they are dignitaries, or if they're on the council, or just anybody that needed to be near the castle or the palace at all times. So if they didn't have any castles of their own or a family of their own, they could just stay here permanently. Or if they did have castles and everything like that, this would just be a place for them to be while they had to be at court, in the kingdom. So we have our little kitchen over here. You got your little stoves, little pizza oven. I know they have pizza, but okay. And I did everything in like different type of styles just to give it some differentiation, because you gotta mix it up. You can't have everything being the same or it just looks kind of, weird. This is the guards little quarter right there, because they're gonna have to guard the gate and they want something relaxing to be. I'm going to decorate that as well. As you can see, I did this one in acacia wood. The first one I think I did in warp. I always pick a color and a wood and just try to go with that color and go with that wood, and then I just kind of put some decorations around, just making living spaces. I wanted spaces that people actually can live in. And for all my fellow Minecrafters, I have a TrueRealism texture pack, and that's why I'm getting some of these textures, and it is a beautiful thing. It'll make things look very realistic for you. I do recommend it. So now we're going to travel downstairs to this like storage area where I'll put some things in. And now my secret tunnel that is under my little lake right here leads to my gatehouse, my big wall, my front wall, okay? And then we go into the boat docks. These are the royal docks that people can just come up and go straight into the palace after they come in the gate. And then back to the ballroom, the palace ballroom, where people would have, little functions and dances and things like that. So now we're going to go up into the bed quarters. Now these bed quarters will be for family. Basically the family of anybody that's coming in that is related to us. This is where they would stay. In medieval times, you had your whole family staying in the castle if you were royalty, for their protection, for your protection, for everybody's protection. So this is where they would stay. I haven't done all the bedrooms yet, and that's one of the things that I'm going to do. But yeah, we're going to have kids' rooms, we're going to have bathrooms, we're going to have all kind of things in there. I get excited about doing interiors, but it's kind of some of the last things I do. So, I'll get to it. Now, this is the royal apartment where the prince and the princess would be. This would be the study where he would just do his thing, his own personal war room. This is a bed just in case, you get tired of doing things. This is my poor attempt at a treasure room, so we're not even going to do that because that's an epic fail. Now, we're going to go up, and this is my bed and my jacuzzi and my living space. This is my sanctuary and my peace. So that is about it. I'm going to go down here, show you my gatehouse. Make sure you go see this experimental video that I have about shooting these arrows and making these rapid fire machine gun cannons. It's kind of hilarious. So that is it. This is my kingdom of Utopia. It keeps growing, so if you want to see more and if you want to learn more, leave a comment. Tell me what you would like to see. Tell me how you liked it, and I will see you next time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. All right.